ladies and gentlemen. And what you see before you here might look like an incomplete slide from PowerPoint, but that's not going to be the crux of the show today. The crux of the show today will be that some of you might be the stars of this show. And you might ask yourselves, how can that be? Well, stick around and find out. It's Coffee Talk with George Hiotis. Coffee Talk about Squad Leader. Now, this is not a Squad Leader cup. This is my horoscope, see? And I'd like to think that Jojo Savard from Quebec, the soothsayer of Quebec, the wise soothsayer of Quebec, gave it to me, but in fact, she didn't. Coffee tastes good, though. Forgive me while I take a sip. So, how will you guys be the star of the show today? Is as follows. I recently polled the community on the Facebook page, the Advanced Squad Leader Facebook page, and the question I asked, and perhaps I should have rephrased it better, was what would you like to see more from MMP? A, more availability of the core modules, print on demand. I want it now. I can't wait 3 years for a P500. As you can see, I'm not getting any younger, right? A couple of years ago, I would say a decade ago, a P500 sounded fine to me, but these days, luckily, I accumulated as much games as I wanted, and I have more than I can play in a lifetime. I think it's not that I have shelves worth of games, but a few and pretty good ones. I might sell a couple, not ASL related though. Anywho, um, so the first choice was for reprint based on demand for modules or more hassles. And to that effect, why did I phrase that question incorrectly? Because I should have asked it in the form of what is more important for MMP to concentrate on? Is it the availability of core modules or more hassles? Um, and I would tend to, if I would to phrase that question in that matter, I would tend to say that availability of core modules is important because and for starter kit, for example, uh, it is the gateway to enter the hobby. If you are concentrating on hassles, how are you going to attract new players? That's what I was getting at. But of course, I didn't phrase the question correctly. But just the same, I got a plethora of answers, and I'm going to do an overview of the answers and rank them. And the lower base is uh, going to be the most widest acceptance of the reply. So I ordered them, and so um, let's start with 0, and let's move things around here so we can make some room. So yeah, the least widely accepted will go on top. Nah, let's put the least widely accepted on the bottom. It's easier for me that way without reordering everything. So a more recent, to be fair to Tin Pascal, Tin is asking for the Indo-China War hassle. That's going to be a heck of a vassal. I mean, going beyond Dien Bien Phu, Indo-China War, hmm, that's a biggie. And at what point do you draw the line between Indochina and Vietnam? The Vietnam War. Uh, at the point where you separated the countries into two halves, North and South, I'm not sure, but so far it hasn't gathered a lot of support, so we'll put it down on the base. Oliver Gray, reduce old info counters. Oliver, you're a swell fellow. You're a gentleman and a scholar. But again, the info counters from the days of past, they serve well the community that has collected them. But again, I'm thinking of the people that want to get into advanced quality. If there's any around, I think there. If listen to this, if you are fellows, ladies or gentlemen, like I like to say, however you identify, if you are a person that would like to get into advanced squad leader, but are not able to because of lack of availability of core modules, I want you to like this video, all right? And if you are a avid player that has multiple copies of these modules, like this video as well to show people that you're willing to part with some of your collection to for the purposes of introducing more people. Now, there's a problem with that idea as well because there have been people, and out of the generosity of their heart, they have parted with their collection or a portion of their collection, and it ends up on eBay. If you're that type of a person, I can't help you. Yeah, anyway, Oliver, unfortunately, you only mustered 1%, but I valued suggestion just the same. I'm just going to squeeze everybody there. So everything in the red bar here in the red sector is from 1 to 10%. Joe Schmidt, contested lands module. So this is something that he wants to see. Jeff Coyle, status quo. I'm happy with what I got. There's nothing wrong with being happy with what you got. I am happy with what I got, and I don't have all the core modules. I don't go out of my way and buy every new release that MMP has. Shocker, ain't it? Yeah, the starter kit. What is it? Starter kit boot camp thingy. I'm there. Money's tight right now. It ain't easy. Reminds me of the Cheech and Chong's story movie. Things are tough all over. Nothing I can do. And for starter kit, I got what I wanted. I got what I needed. 1 to 3. 4, I haven't gotten it. And maybe I should have. Maybe I should have gone into Rising Sun instead. These days, have you looked outside? It's cold outside. Dan keeps on wondering. Dan from No Enemies Here. Why do I always look cold? I'm not always drinking coffee. Yeah, change the front door. That helps. And turning on the thermostat when uh, you're close to zero temperatures, that also helps as well. Anyway, hey Jeff, your response mustered 4%. Not that it's not valid; it's a perfectly valid point. I hope MMP is watching this video. Hope they are. Anyway, Bob Darlington, reprint Sassel. That would be a great thing. How about we go with Deluxe? Now that's part of printing core modules. So Sassel is a core module. Deluxe ASL is a core module, in my opinion. So I'm going to add this to uh, 11 plus 7, and I'm going to couple this to core availability. That's what I'm going to do. Well, for starters, I'm going to group it like this. So 11 plus 7 is 18. And then reprint of old modules. I know what you guys want, Kampf Group Piper, but Kampf Group Piper didn't have the black and white counters, and it was a bridge too far, or Pegasus Bridge, one of the two things. Pegasus Bridge. I think it was, or a bridge too far. A bridge too far. Pegasus Bridge. ASL Calgary there, Caslo Calgary. You correct me in the comments below. I'll pin your comment. I should remember that you've corrected me in the past. That's if Caslo Calgary is actually um, watching. So uh, Bill Conroy is being grouped in this little dimension here. Bagged. Then we come to David Roberts, bagged for overseas shipping. There's two questions that arise here. Okay, one is what is the future of print? Is print going to be a viable technology in the future? Now, it is in Japan because in Japan they go nuts uh, for This is a fountain pen. This is a Kawiko fountain pen. It's one of the, on the lower end of the cost spectrum with a gold tip. Do you see that there? Right? But it's majestic. And it's German. It's not Japanese, but I collect quite a few pens. I have a tactical pen here from Amazon. Yes, I do still enjoy some stuff from Amazon. And it's like it has a thing to break your glass if you get into an accident and whatnot. It's pretty nifty. And I also had a battery here, but a light, a torch, as you say over in England, but the battery ran out. Hard to get batteries of this size. Uh, and Japan also enjoys different quality of paper and whatnot. Try getting one of these things. It's like $10 here in Canada, $6 to $10. Remarkable. It used to be $1 or $2. Paper was cheap. But now think about it. Paper, mounting, a die cutting. Is that going to be around for how much longer? Um, I worked under a boss, a CEO that kind of predicted the end of print. That was, I would say, 12 years ago, maybe not 8 years ago. Um, and lo and behold, a lot of even restaurants, you don't see any placemats, paper placemats anymore. Menus, I don't know. All the menus have gone digital, even McDonald's. I'm not. It's. I'm just putting thoughts out there. So, anywho, um, but getting back to the original idea, bagged. It's not a bad idea. I mean, like, just put um, a cardboard, insert in a nice storage Ziploc bag, and you got yourself something great. I mean, this was not bad. This was one of my best purchases. It's no counters. It's not a hassle. It's just a scenario pack. AGI's dozen. You can also get it from War Gamers Vault, but it was a breeze to obtain. I didn't have to worry about nothing. It greatly reduces cost and it greatly increases um, enjoyability. Put that back. Stop it with the props. Okay. I hope I elaborated on this, but this is part of the 7%. Now, 8%. I'm gonna have to start using this thingy. Small Hassle, No, No Counters by Michel Kafaga. You could say that. You mean like there's a lot of people that are saying, why do we need more German counters? I don't know. Why do you? That was the dilemma with Twilight of the Reich. Hmm, why do I need more German counters? I'll tell you something. I'm looking at my collection and going to a tournament. I've seen instances where, you know, I may not have had all the counters, or not enough counters, and why not give people more counters than they need? Um, I know for a fact that one of my friends that plays on cardboard 3 games in a week consecutively. He has a large table and he has one set up for his Monday night game, I guess, one set up for his Wednesday night game, another set up for his Friday night game. This fellow needs counters, so let's not knock counters. What I don't like is the cliche whereby they find some stupendous weapon that was never used, hardly used. Oh, we need a counter for this. No, we don't. We got enough counters already. But maybe core counters, you even sell them separately. Look at Critical Hit, was it? I forget the outfit, but they were forced to create their own counters for some reason or another, and they did. And I like little counters with painted figures in them. You know, I like the traditional squad leader counters, but why not make them historically accurate? You know, broken designs is an outfit that sells counters to that end. I was thinking, I was waiting for Doom battalions to come out. I was actually thinking of just buying the counters, and I don't know. I don't know about the scenarios. Create my own scenarios, you know. So getting back to work, unfortunately, he only mustered 8%. Now I think this merits star here. All right, all right. Now here's the crux of the question. Let's go back to what I was thinking before. Which is more important to have? Uh, Readily available core modules, um, and old modules in Sassel and Deluxe is all up to speed. So let's do the math. If we group those three items together, all right, I was doing another calculation. So 11 plus 7 plus 17 is 35, almost a tie. If we are grouping Bob Darlington's suggestion for reprint of Sassel, which is a core module, Bill Conroy's old module, reprint of old modules, Sassel old modules, and availability of core. And print on demand might be unimaginable or not available, but it could happen. I mean, maybe we're not using the right technology. Maybe we're not using digital technology to print, as opposed to the old-fashioned way of printing. And maybe if you switch to digital, the quality might decrease a bit. I don't know. I'm not in the business. I'm in the business of enjoying the hobby. I wouldn't even call it a business. I don't make any money off of it. Luckily, I have a day job. Hmm. So, more hassle seems to be the winner. But if we add these babies together, it would be practically a tie. And I would say, considering that the population in the hobby is getting older, oops, undo that, is getting older, right? And you want new players to get into the hobby of playing advanced squad leader, you need to figure out a way of making the core modules readily available. And if that means turning to digital, by all means, turn it to digital. Um, I remember a story that was told by Alain Chabot, that one of the things that facilitated the transition from squad leader, and that are these modules, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, was an electronic HTML copy of the rulebook. So we're talking about quite a few decades ago, if not a decade ago, or a decade and a half. I'm not sure when MMP approached Alain Chabot for an HTML copy of the rulebook, but they did. And that helped transition the rules from what they were before to what they are now. Um, Anywho, uh, that's my take on this thing. And look, we constructed a beautiful uh, triangle. Pythagoras would have been proud of me as one of his ancestors, I suppose, or Pythagoras, being an ancestor of Pythagoras. I hope maybe I was, maybe I was. I'm not sure. Anyway, Pythagoras would have been happy about what I just did. I'm not too sure about MMP if they're happy or you're happy. Well, if you are happy, do like and subscribe. And I'm gonna do my best to actually provide you also with a video, um, dealing with gameplay in a scenario later this week or later today. We'll see. Anywho, that's my 2 cents. Shout out to everybody that likes and subscribes. Do tell your friends about this channel. We're at 1,040 subscribers now. Excellent little community. Between 60 to 50 to 350 people watch the video. And I'm pretty sure my videos, and I'm pretty sure some video views are not counted because if you're not using the Chrome browser, it might not count the view. But I don't do this for clicks and views. I just do it for the fun of it. So thank you for your support, one and all. And uh, over and out. And I'll see you soon. Take care.